Jerry.
We haven't been able to ring that bell for a while, so Dí Vacarja is top fear fall to the Gocania, Quick Failure Frank Harte Gavil is Hain. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Frank Harte Festival. First off, I'd like to thank my fellow members of the Frank Harte Festival team for all the efforts they put in to make this event happen. Without their great work and enthusiasm, it just would not have happened. Each one of them has gone beyond what could reasonably be expected of a voluntary committee in their commitment to Ungolian traditional singers and the festival. Yet again, we're constrained to limit some of our activities because of the pandemic that has visited us for the past 18 months. When we started planning for this event in October last year, we were optimistic that we would be able to return to a regular format. But our optimism was ill-founded, and again this year we've had to use our imagination and ingenuity to bring the festival in the form that it's in to you all. With this, we have found within ourselves talents and skills we did not realise we had, and in some cases we've had to acquire. I think it would be true to say we've all been on an extremely steep learning curve since March 2020. But here we are, hopefully on the way out of this emergency and with brighter days ahead. As I'm sure you all know, this festival is one of the highlights of our year, and we eagerly look forward to meeting our friends from all over Ireland and abroad and renewing friendships once more. When you think about Frank Harte and his legacy, you realise the great debt we owe to him. Were it not for him, I think I can say without contradiction that the Irish song tradition would be considerably poorer. As Tom Munnelly wrote about him, he gave validation to people from the city to sing traditional songs. Frank cast his net wide in his pursuit of the raw bar, and he was a familiar figure, tape recorder in hand, at all of the various singing festivals that sprang up after the initial fail in the Boyne in 1976. He delighted in hearing a singer or song that he'd never heard before, and he would wax eloquently about them to us all. He loved the stories that the songs told and the insight they gave into rural, urban and political life. He believed that the songs told the people's history, and he loved singing them, and above all, he loved the people who sang them, a trait that never left him right through his entire life. He valued his friendships with the old singers he had come to know and who had become firm friends. Eddie Butcher, Geordie Hanna, Nicholas Tobin, Derek O'Cahan, Liz Jeffries, Tom Lenihan, Mickey Donoghue, Sarah Ann O'Neill. I could go on listing them all for the next 10 minutes. I wouldn't get through them all. Over and over he would say to us, "Weren't we lucky to meet them? Weren't we?" And yes, we were lucky, but most of all we were lucky to meet Frank Harte. In the last couple of years before his death, he had stopped driving into Ungolian on Fridays, and he used to be waiting there for the phone call, which usually arrived about 20 to 8 on a Friday night. And Frank would say, "How are you? Are you going in?" And I'd say, yeah. He said, "Well, you might call by and pick me up." And we would. And he would sit in the car and he would hold court in the car all the way in about songs and singers. And he had very strongly held opinions about what and wasn't afraid to voice them. The various albums he recorded are an invaluable resource for anyone interested in acquiring a repertoire, and indeed I'm aware that lots of the younger singers nowadays have used them for that purpose. As Pat Burke wrote in Untitled Chapter, his tribute song to Frank Harte, "I was but a youth myself when first your voice I heard, the old songs captivated me, my soul at once ensnared." And yes, we were all ensnared by Frank and the songs he sang. As I've said, the albums are brilliant, and now, thanks to Terry Moylan, we have the definitive book of Frank Harte songs, a living voice, the Frank Harte Song Collection, to add to our store of knowledge and to enrich our understanding of the singing tradition. Frank believed that no person owned traditional songs. They were part of a living stream and they had to be passed on or the stream would dry up. Every Friday in Ungolian we add to the stream, and it's been heartening to see the new wave of singers coming to the fore. Derry Farrell, Derry Yates, the four young ladies in Landless, the two lads in Ye Vagabonds and Lankum, and more. I don't think there's any danger of the string drying up now. When, in 2006, the year after Frank's death, we decided to hold the festival to honour and celebrate his memory, I think it's safe to say we didn't think we would still be going 16 years later, but here we are. The Frank Harte Festival fulfills the function of passing on the songs and keeping his memory alive and vibrant, and equally, as I've said earlier, meeting and renewing friendships. So, to open the festival, I'm going to celebrate Frank by singing Robbie O'Connell's great song about him, The Keeper of the Songs. So here's to friendship, camaraderie and good company. That once brash voice is silent now, no more we'll hear it soar, to call us back to Dublin streets, or Napoleon's cruel war, to feel again the nation's pride, as our heroes made a stand, or the sorrows of our countrymen, when great hunger gripped the land. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. It was on the streets of Boyle one day, he heard a tinker's song, of those heroes bold in Knockanure, who bitterly were wronged. His life would never be the same from that fateful moment on, for he realised he'd found the truth in the verses of a song. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. For the voices of his people and the stories that they told, he cherished like a wealthy man, might treasure bars of gold. The songs like ghosts that long endured through centuries now gone, were proudly given voice once more by the keeper of the songs. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. For the store of songs he left us, we treasure to this day, and the memory of that gallant man will never fade away. For he taught us the great value of traditions long passed on. That's the legacy of Frank Harte, the keeper of the songs. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. Frank Harte.
And what a great start to the evening, Jerry. Thanks so much for that. And of course, as you've sung the first song, you will be singing the last song. So I can, I'm sure there's a few in your head. Okay, I'm going to move straight on to our first singer of the night, and that is Alice Farrell Perlman. Alice, can you unmute yourself there, please? Super.
Thank you so much, Maura, for calling me. I wouldn't know any of you if it weren't for Frank Harte and having taken a class with him here in New York at the Irish Arts Centre. And you were very true in what you said, Jerry, hitting it on the head, that he entranced you with song. And this song I definitely have been entranced with for a long time. So this is from Frank and for Frank. You may talk of your outings, your picnics and parties, your dinners and dances, and hoolies and all. But wait till I tell you of the gas that we had the night that we danced at the Char Ladies' Ball. I went there with me man, and I went as Queen Anne. He was dressed as a monkey, locked up in a cage. There were pierrots and pirouettes, and hottentots and whatnots, and stars that you'd see on the music hall stage. At the Char Ladies' Ball, people said one and all, "You're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan." We had one steps and two steps, and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again, bedad. We had wine, porter, and lemonade. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. We had champagnes that night, but we'd real champagnes next morning, the night that we danced at the Char Ladies' Ball. There were cowboys and Indians that came from Drumcondra, Sweet Francis Street fairies, all diamonds and stars. There was one of the Roonies as the clock over Moonies, and a telegram boy has a message from Mars. Mary Moore from the lots was the queen of the Scots, with a crown out of Woolworths perched up on her dome. There was young Jimmy Whitehouse, came dressed as a lighthouse, and a Camden Street garbo who should have stayed home. At the Char Ladies' Ball, people said, one and all, "You're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan." We had one steps and two steps, and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again, bedad. We had wine, porter, and Jameson. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. We had rumbos and tangos, half sets and fandangos, the night that we danced at the Char Ladies' Ball. Mary Ellen O'Rourke was the queen of the dawn. By 10:30 she looked like a real dirty night. Mickey Farron of Bester came dressed as a jester. He burst his balloon and dropped dead with the fright. Kevin Park came as Farrell, stops that sinking feeling, astride of a bottle, pajamas and all. And he bumped into Faust, who was gloriously soused, and the two of them were drunk at the end of the hall. At the Char Ladies' Ball, people said, one and all, "You're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan." We had one steps and two steps, and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again, bedad. We had wine, porter, and Jameson. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. We'd a real stand-up fight when we fell down to supper the night that we danced at the Char Ladies' Ball. Should I?
Hop. Well sung, Alice. Thanks a million. I'm going to
Oh,
move
thank
straight
you.
on to Frank Nugent. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
How are you doing?
It's great. Another Frank Harte. It's really terrific to be back, even if it is online. Yeah, this song I'm going to sing is a Sarah and Rita Kane famously recorded this song, "A Storm McCree." Oh, a storm McCree, when you're far, far away, far from the land you are leaving. Oh, it's many the time, by night and by day, oh, that your heart will be sorely grieving. For the stranger's land may be bright and fair, and filled with treasures golden, but you'll pine, I know, for the long, long ago. Oh, and the love that's forever a storm of creep in the stranger's land. There is plenty of wealth and wailing, whilst gems adorn, the great and grand. There are faces with hunger paling. Though the road be tiresome and hard to tread, and the lights of our cities will blind you, won't you turn the store to Erin's shore, and the ones you're leaving behind you? Oh, a storm of creep when the evening mist over mountain and sea is fallen. Won't you turn away from the throng and list? Oh, and maybe you'll hear me calling for the sound of a voice that is surely missed, for somebody's quick returning. Oh, Arun, Arun, won't you come back soon to the ones who will always love you? Right now, Higgins.
Lovely singing. Thank you, Frank. That was lovely. Going to move straight on to Pat Burke. Pat, would you unmute yourself, please?
I would. I'm unmuted now. Thank you so much for asking me to sing. I'm not going to sing the one I wrote about, Frank. I'm going to see what somebody else actually sing that one. I was thinking today, what'll I sing? What'll I sing? And somebody may know of a little black eye. That's because I had an altercation with a door a while ago. So I'm going to sing got a box match about Johnny Morrissey. And it's not one of Frank's albums. That's the first time I heard. Fire. Come all you true-born Irishmen, wherever you may be. I hope you'll pay attention now and listen unto me, till I tell you of a battle that took place the other day between a Russian sailor and Johnny Morrissey. 'Twas in Tierra del Fuego in South America. This Russian challenged Morrissey, these words to him did say. Says he, you are a fighting man, and you wear a belt, I see. Indeed, I wish you would consent to have a fight with me. Well, up spoke Johnny Morrissey, with heart both brave and true. For I am a valiant Irishman that never was subdued. I can whack the Russian, the Yankee, polar bear. In honour of old Paddy's land, the laurels green I'll wear. Well, these words enraged the Russian boy upon the Yankee land. To think that he could be put down by any Irishman. Says he, you are too light a frame, and that without mistake. I will force you to resign the belt, or else your life I'll take. Well, to fight upon the 10th of March, these heroes did agree. And thousands came from every part, the battle for to see. Oh, the Russians and the Saxon boys, their hearts were filled with glee, for they swore that their champion he would kill brave Morrissey. Well, our hero stepped into the ring, so valiant to be seen, and Morrissey he wore a belt wrapped round with shamrocks green, full $60,000, as you will plainly see, would be the champion's prize for him who'd gained the victory. Well, they shook hands and walked around the ring, commencing then to fight, and it filled each Irish heart with joy for to behold the sight. For the Russian, he floored Morrissey up to the 11th round. To Yankee, Saxon and Russian cheers, the valleys did resound. But the Irish offered 4-1 that day upon the grass. No sooner said than taken up They then brought out the cash. Well, they hurried away without delay up to the 18th round, when Morrissey received a blow that brought him to the ground. A full minute and a half he lay before that he could rise, and the word it went around the field, he's dead, were all their cries. But Morrissey, working manfully, he rose up from the ground. From that until the 30th round, he put the Russian down. Up to the 37th round, 'twas fall and fall about, which caused those foreign tyrants for to keep a sharp lookout. The Russian called the seconds to pour a glass of wine. Well, be God, says Johnny Morrissey, the battle will be mine. Well, at 38 decided all, the Russian felt a smart, when Morrissey with a dreadful blow hit the Russian on the heart. For they called for a physician to open up the vein. Says he, it is quite useless, he never fight again. Well, our hero conquered Thompson, the Yankee clipper too. The Benicia boy and shepherd he nobly did subdue. So come, we'll fill a flowing glass, here is health galore to noble Johnny Morrissey, who came from Templemore. Thank you very much.
Well sung, well sung. Okay, before I move on to the next singer, I'm just going to give people advance warning. Some people have let me know that they're okay with me calling them, and some people haven't answered. So just in case you haven't seen the chat, it's always good to keep an eye on the chat, because I'll be giving people for prior warning if I'm going to call them. But the people I'm going to be calling for the next few is Fiona McCarty. Then the first of our guests tonight, Confada Udrishgioil. Then we're going to have Anne Parsons, long-time regular at the Goleen. Tony Fitzpatrick, also a long-time regular at the Goleen. And then we're going to have, hopefully, if she's up to it, Siobhan Hart for a song after that. So I'm waiting for the yeses and the okays and the that's grands, and I'm sure they'll come flying in now in a minute. So hopefully that'll work. All right, next then is Fiona. Fiona, can you unmute yourself?
There you go. Unmuted.
Yes, that's perfect.
Hi everybody. Yeah, thank you so much for asking me to sing. It's not very original, but it's, you know, sometimes it's what you feel like singing, and there you go. Oh, Peggy Gordon, you are my darling. Come sit you down upon my knee and tell to me the very reason why I am slighted so by thee. I wish I was in some lonesome valley where womankind cannot be found, where the little birds sing upon the branches, and every moment a different sound. I'm so in love that I can't deny it. My heart lies heavy upon my breast, but it's not for you to let the world know it. A loving heart can know no rest. I put my head to a cask of brandy. It was my fancy, I do declare, for when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking and wishing Peggy Gordon was here. I wish I was away in England, far across the briny sea, or sailing o'er the deepest ocean, where grief and worry don't bother me. Oh, Peggy Gordon, you are my darling. Come sit you down upon my knee and tell to me the very reason why I am slighted so by thee. Sinead.
Fiona, that was absolutely gorgeous. That was gorgeous, and I think the clue is in the name of the people sitting around here, the going traditional song. So it's not like, you know, I think old and traditional is probably a recommendation in this group of people. That was gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to move on. Can Fada Osrishgo and Winton son. Fade to Hena G Valavu. Yahoo!
Okay.
Super.
Okay. We made contact, have we?
We've made contact.
Very good. Okay, it's great to be part of the Frank Harte Festival this year. Like all the people who have been singing and speaking so far, I have great admiration for traditional song, and I love all the old songs, but I still claim I have the right to parody them or mock them a little bit. So this is what I did in this song. It's my version of the old poignant ballad called Molly Bawn, and it imagines the young man who has shot Molly Bawn giving himself up to the local policeman, and this is what he hears. What brings you here, Jim Reynolds, on this dark December day? I'll have to deal with you myself, the sergeant is away. It must be some official forms you wanted signed and stamped, or some desperado that you witnessed cycling with no lamp. Now of your sense of humour, James, I do not think a lot. 'Tis a joke and doubtful taste to say that Molly Bawn you shot. You're wasting precious Garda time, get out, be on your way. And Joan gets very cranky if I'm late home for the tea. Or if you weren't joking, 'tis your fancy leads you on. We had this 40 years ago with your poor Uncle John. He walked in here confessing to 2 murders foul and callous, saying he shot JR and JFK while holidaying in Dallas. And it makes no sense that Moll's extermination you'd have plotted. 'Twas well known by all the neighbours that by her you were besotted. It tells that when you met each night behind Delaney's garage, you indulged in strange contortions never witnessed in this parish. So you say you were mistaken, that you took her for a swan. If that's true, I'm a Chinaman from faraway Taiwan. You couldn't rightly see her at the setting of the sun. Well, that's the best I ever heard. Now pull the other one. I admit I'm no detective. Many people think I'm slow. And behind my back facetiously, I'm called Hercule Poirot. But when upon your sorry tale my mental powers I focus, I must say your swans and sunset story sounds entirely bogus. And I know you'll claim you have no record, criminal or delinquent, but I often wonder where that girl with whom you used to drink went. 2 years ago she disappeared. I think her name was Janet. Are you sure you didn't shoot her when you took her for a gannet? The judge knows well he can't afford your story to believe. For if he sets a precedent and grants you a reprieve, some bright boy will turn up next week denying the charge he's tried on, saying his ma-in-law he strangled when he took her for a python. And your dad says you should chance a plea of accidental killing. I know him well, a decent man, but not the total shilling. His brain's as dim as your eyesight, and therefore he predicts that they'll only hit you with the Wildlife Act of 76. When those legal vultures start on you, fair play goes out the window. They'll tie you up in knots with cunning ploys and innuendo. They'll extract from you a statement through their questioning malignant, saying your darling Molly Bond was soon to bear your little signet. When the headline writers find the trail, you'll be their only topic. You'll be called the blind assassin and the murderer myopic. Blind justice, gun dogs, guide dogs, swan songs, Cupid's darts you'll find in those pages, till some genius then concludes that love is blind. For the sake of Molly's parents, you'll agree we can't afford to let this glaucoma gunman case be tried in open court. 'Tis bad enough to shoot poor Moll who plied you with her favours, but don't turn her story into a promotion for Specsavers. I could shoot you here this minute, but I'll risk the hangman's noose if I can't persuade the jury that I took you for a goose. 'Tis best you flee this town tonight. I swear I've never seen ya. You can live your days in some fair land like Turkey or Armenia. Sinead.
Brilliant, brilliant. I love it. Yeah, there's many more where that came from. I just watching a few people laughing their heads off as you were singing that one, Con, and yeah, we've got more to come. That's brilliant. I'm going to move on to Anne Parsons-Dunn. Anne, can you unmute, please? Brilliant.
Okay. You were saying I'm a long-term person here. It's 35 years this year since I first went to the Goalie. So yeah, it is a long time. And I just found recently the words of a song our father wrote. Sort of he wrote it for the Goalie, but it was because he couldn't sing anymore. So I thought I'd try and sing that. See how far. Okay. And now to conclude and to finish, you've heard all my ditties before. I haven't the breath now to sing them, so I'm not going to sing anymore. But before I resign from the singing and vanish from this vale of woe, there are some things that often confuse me, some things that I'd like to know. Why are ghosts always call Willie and visit from midnight till dawn? And when the cock crows in the morning, say, excuse me, I have to be gone. There are dozens of moths that were murdered, but they never lie on the floor. They just lie there and they welter. One should only do that in one's gore. When a parrot is good, he's rewarded with wings of the very beaten gold. I'm sure he would rather have feathers, at least they would keep out the cold. There are songs about lords and of ladies who married someone who was poor, and they lived a life of contentment, but that never happened, I'm sure. When I stroll out in the morning, it's sure to be in May or June. I never stroll out in November, 'cause nothing rhymes with November. So now to conclude and to finish, there's no one more sorry than I. I'll just sit in here and I'll listen. I'm sure you will understand why. That's it. By the way, Con, Father and I share a birthday.
There you go. Things we didn't know. And is it around this time, Anne, or do we get to wish you all happy birthday or not? Or not? I'm suspecting the mics have been turned off. I'd say, Anna. Tony Fitzpatrick, I'm going to go straight to you. But before I get you to start singing, I just want to warn Rosie Davis is going to take Siobhan's place because Siobhan is not up to singing tonight, unfortunately, but we're delighted she's here listening anyway. And I have asked Sean Faulconer to sing, but I haven't got a response from him yet. And after that, I've asked Ken and Peter to sing, and I haven't got a response from you guys yet either, but I can see you nodding there on the screen. So, yeah, so just to warn people what's coming. Tony, do you want to go ahead there then?
Thanks very much, Maura. I'd like to sing this song that I got off one of the 3 marvelous CDs that Barry Gleason produced, and he got this particular song from Sarah and Rita Kane. So I'd like to kind of give it a go. Joy came to my bosom as I reached Coven Cork. I boarded a White Star liner and I landed in New York. The houses all were jasper and the streets were paved in gold, and the ladies in their splendor, so charming to behold. Well, I'm thinking, ever thinking, by night as well as day. I'm thinking, ever thinking of those green hills far away. I'm thinking of the mossy banks and the valleys down below, and my heart is in lovely Erin, where the 3-leaf shamrock grows. Once I was disappointed when first I crossed the foam. There were 3 days' work laid out for me against everyone at home. To be working for informers, I'd rather be hung than be listening to the jeering of a gibbering foreign tongue. But I'm thinking, ever thinking, by night as well as day. I'm thinking, ever thinking of those green hills far away. I'm thinking of the mossy banks and the valleys down below, and my heart is in lonely Erin, where the 3-leaf shamrock grows. I can see the little chapel beneath the mountain path, where I received my confirmation, and oft times I went to mass. With the sacreds on the altar and the people bending low, and me heart is in lovely Erin, where the 3-leaf shamrock grows. Right diddle dee dum da dee da die, dum diddle dee dum dee day. Right diddle dee dum dee dee dum dum dee daddle dum by dee day. To be working for informers, I'd rather be hung than listening to the jeering of a gibbering foreign tongue, than to be listening to the jeering of a gibbering foreign tongue.
Fantastic, fantastic. And just before I hand over to Rosie, I'm going to read out the Facebook list. So these are the people so far listening and watching on Facebook: Siobhan Herity, Anne Lynch, Francis Smith, Sheila Hogg, Frank Callery, hiya Frank, Eugene McEldowney, Hup, how you doing Eugene, Neve Parsons, I think Neve is in two places at one time, Genevieve Galarno, Charles Doherty, Jet Jensen, Derek Deek, Andrew Baskerville, Luke Evans, Grania Niwari, how you Grania, Eileen Devani. I should say hi Andrew as well. These are some of these people who come in every week. Eileen Devani, Nancy Wallach, Leslie Ann McLucky, Diane Sherry Romano, Kieran Doran and Tracy Rose Brown. So delighted that you're all taking the time to listen and to watch the evening. Okay, Rosie, would you like to unmute yourself, please?
Hello.
Fantastic. And I see Annette in the background there. Hi, Annette.
Yeah, she's here. Give us a wave, Annette. She's usually on Facebook, but she's behind.
Delighted to be here.
Delighted to see you here. Off you go, Rosie.
Yeah, be careful what you sing.
Sorry, Rosie, just for anyone who doesn't know, Annette is my sister.
Oh, God help you.
He's a very proud brother as far as I can see. So there you go, Annette.
You have to be very careful learning songs in this house because you get a huge textbook to read on the subject as well. So I kind of got into the Napoleonic stuff. But anyway, here we go. Lonely Waterloo. A lady fair went walking down by the riverside. The crystal tears fell from her eyes as I walked by her side. Then from her trembling bosom these words she spoke so true, saying, "Friend, I fear my William's slain at lonely Waterloo. What were the clothes your William wore?" The soldier did reply. He wore a Highland bonnet with the feathers standing high. A bright broadsword hung by his side, o'er his dark suit of blue. These were the clothes my William wore at lonely Waterloo. If they were the clothes your William wore, I saw his dying day, when the bayonet pierced his tender breast, when on the ground he lay. He reached me out his dying hand, the Frenchman had him slew. 'Twas I that closed your William's eyes at lonely Waterloo. She cried, "Oh, Willie dear, oh, William," then she could say no more. She threw herself down on her knees as I these tidings bore. If I had the wings of a little bird, it straightway I would fly. I'd fly to lonely Waterloo, where my true love does lie. I'd light on my love's bosom, my sorrow to remove. I'd kiss my William's clay cold lips as a token of true and a single maiden I'd remain. To none I would prove true, while my William lies with sightless eyes at lonely Waterloo. Thank you.
Rosie.
Well
Well
sung.
And a bit of a
Thank
chorus
you.
there as well. Gorgeous. Well
Yes.
done, Rosie.
Thank
Okay,
you, Maura.
not at all. So I'm going to move on to Sean Faulconer. And I'm going to ask you to unmute there. Yeah, I can hear sound. Sorry, Sean, Sean, you've just muted yourself again. So no, that looks okay. Can you just,
Okay.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, lovely, thanks.
All right, off you go.
You muses that peruses, refuse not but lend me your aid. Once more it is your duty to infuse a stout and a roving blade, who means for to describe all a tribe and perjure clan that try to take me life away for the crimes of another man. My name is Matthew Murray, and the truth of it I'll not deny. Accused of killing Burley from my country, I was first to fly. I am an abandoned perjurer that lately sprung from poverty. Nicholas Donnelly is his name, and he lives convenient to Bombay. This Donnelly you all have heard, he proceeded from a skulking clan, who was formerly reared up a lick plate to a gentleman. But him and Burley they did try to take my sweet life away. But in spite of all their swearing, now I'm sailing to America. And likewise James McGovern, who in Cavan for that murder died, who proving on the gallows tree the malice of that perjure tried, by solemnly declaring that he had never guilty been of robbery or murder, though Burley he revenged that spleen. By their false accusations with my family I could no longer stay, and to the county Leitrim for my safety I made my way, where meeting with relations and their neighbours in that country, they treated me quite decent and endeavoured for to keep me free. By some cruel, wicked informer then Lord Forbes he did me surround, and thought to apprehend me and take me to Cavan town. I've always been attentive for to keep myself at liberty. So with courage bold, undaunted, I did conquer all his cavalry. It was then in Castle Pollard that Fitzpatrick he did meet, Sir be me by trade. 35 well-armed men marched me off without delay. My arms then they did unbound to allow to me some leniency. Then I knocked down all their guards and I fought well for my liberty. My persecutors be their comfort and numbered with the burning snakes. In torture may they grumble and bumble in the Stygian lakes. May Connor and his flailers never cease to put them down. Those cruel perjured traitors that endeavour to have me bound. In spite of those perjurers that attacked me so wrongfully, it's now that I am disembarked in New York at my liberty. Farewell to all relations and each stout hero that sheltered me, and likewise to all fair maidens that dwell convenient to Bombay. Shinawell.
Oh, fantastic, Sean. Thanks so much. Gorgeous.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to ask Pete and Ken to unmute.
How's about that?
Fantastic.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Those Who Suffer write the songs. Picking up on that, this is an American song by Dave Kahn. In the 1930s, he was a mill worker, and he wrote this song called Cotton Mill Colic, suffering from the colic of work.
We're going to precede that with a snippet of a Bill Monroe song. The first line, sadly, very appropriate for this time of year. Summertime is past and gone, and I'm on my way back home, back to the only one I ever loved. Oh, the moon is shining bright, it lights my pathway tonight, back to the only one I ever loved. Oh, I know she waits for me back in old Tennessee. She was sent to me from God above. Oh, the moon is shining bright, it lights my pathway tonight, back to the only one I ever loved. When you buy clothes on measly terms, collectors treat you like measly worms. $1 down, and the Lord knows if you don't make the payments, they'll take your clothes. Go to bed at night, you can't sleep, you owe so much at the end of the week. No use to colic, we're all that way, pegging at your door till they get your pay. I'm gonna starve or nobody will, you can't make a living at a cotton mill. 12 bucks a week is all we get, how in the heck can you live on that? I got a wife and 14 kids, we all sleep on 2 bedsteads, got patches on my bridges, holes in my hat, haven't had a shave since the wife got fat. No use to colic every day at noon, the kids get crying in a different tune. I'm gonna starve or nobody will, you can't make a living at a cotton mill. When you go to work, you work like the devil, at the end of the week you're not on the level. Payday comes, pay your rent, when you get through you haven't got a cent to buy fatback meat, pinto beans. Now and then we get turnip greens. No use to call it we're all that way. Can't get the money to move away. I'm gonna starve or nobody will. You can't make a living on a cotton mill. They'll run a few days and then they'll stand. Just to keep down the working man. We can't make it, we never will. So long as we work in this lousy mill. The poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting rich. If I don't starve, I'm a son of a. No use to call it, no use to rave. We'll never rest till we're in our grave. I'm gonna starve or nobody will. You can't make a living out of cotton mill. Can't make a living out of cotton mill. Thanks.
Fantastic and lovely to hear a bit of harmony as well. Okay, I'm going to move on to another of our guests for the weekend, and that's Barbara Dimmock. Barbara, do you want to unmute there? How you doing?
Oh,
Yeah, talk away.
hi. Yeah, it's lovely to be at a festival singing to people again, and I'm looking forward to singing to real live people tomorrow.
Yes.
No. I'm going to sing you a song which is called Donald Dawn, which is a kind of a hybrid song in that the words are traditional Scottish and the tune is Irish.
Just before you start though, Barbara, because again, there's people who aren't watching the chat. Donny Nolan, I hope you're ready because you're coming on after this, and then we're going to have Virginia Blankenthorne from Edinburgh, and well, currently in Edinburgh anyway, and then we're going to have Fergus Russell, who's one of our committee members. Okay, sorry, Barbara, off you go, my dear.
No problem. Wha hasna heard the Donald Dawn wi' his tanter wallops on? I trow he is a lazy drawn and he smuggles heel and whisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he'd file the bay, oh, bisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he smuggles heel and whisky, oh. When first he came to old Dundee, 'twas in a sneaky hole of tea, where gauger buddies couldna see he played the king of Plisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he'd filed away, oh, bisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he smuggles heel and whisky, oh. When he was young and in his prime, he looed a bonny lassie fine. She jilted him and ice and sign his dismal dour and dusky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he'd file the bay, oh, bisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he smuggles heel and whisky, oh. A bunch of rags is all his broad, his heathery wig would fricht the cross. Wi' manky face and clarty paws, he smuggles heel and whisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he'd file the bay, oh, bisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he smuggles heel and whisky, oh. He has a sark, he has but ane, and it's fair worn to skin and bane, and louping like to run its lane wi' troopers bald and frisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he'd file the bay, oh, bisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he smuggles heel and whisky, oh. So here's a toast to Donald Dawn, wi' a' his tanter wallops on, and may he never lack a stone as he makes heel and whisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he'd file the bay, oh, bisky, oh. Fallariddle, laddie, oh, he smuggles heel and whisky, oh.
Oh, great song, Barbara. Thanks so much. I love that word clarity. It's brilliant. It's a great word. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to ask Donny Nolan to unmute himself there. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Glad
Can
to
you hear me?
it.
Yeah.
I can hear you and I can see
Yeah.
you. So
Okay.
that's always a good place to start anyway. You going to give us a song there?
I will. Thanks very much. Hello to everybody. So I'm back here in the west of County Limerick. So I'll just keep it local for tonight. it's a very local song to hear to the parish of Athay called West Limerick Hills. I've never seen West Limerick Hills as bright as they are today, or never has its fields or dells or hedgerows look so gay. Perhaps it is long absence from those haunts I love so well, that fill me with such great delight here in this woodland dell. Our sparkling little blusher led by many's a rippling rill, as it winds along the valley between those virgin hills, and many's a fern and primrose too, sweet water lily fair, bends low to kiss that crystal stream as it winds through Knockton Hill. I see all Knocknagourna and our own sweet temple Athay, with its fields of fertile corn and our meadows of clover hay. Down in the valley flows the gale, so full of trout and eel, and there's the road through Knocknabowl that leads to Abbeyfield. Once more I see Drummadder Hills, Clash Schoolhouse and Coolwell. But Knocknair, my native home, it's the place I love the best. I see Knockfin, Lishgan, Turin and Glenagore, and there's the Shan's silver crest between Glen and Tarbert shore. Now night has drawn its curtains, and those mountains fade from view. You hills and dells of Limerick, I'll bid you all adieu. My thoughts will all times wander back from land so far away, to gaze with spirit on those hills and the places around that hill. Thank you very much.
Tony, that was absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much. That gorgeous smooth singing. There you go. And I don't know what it is about that side of the country. They seem to produce lots of good singers who play the box as well. It's very strange altogether. Anyway, we'll move on to Virginia. How are you doing? Wait, let me see if we can get you to unmute. Try that now.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it. That's
Excellent.
it.
Yeah. I wish I could claim to be a box player, but that was gorgeous.
You more than make up for it with the singing.
That was gorgeous singing altogether. Now I'm enjoying this very much. I haven't had the pipes working for a while, so please forgive me if this sounds a bit rough.
I don't know.
Oh wait, I've got the wrong air. Hang on a minute. Shut up, David. I can't do it if you're going buzzing along over there. Let's see. Hons var bjørn bei gamle mors, Mars jasmar, jordlinje gamle land. I'll know. Spibueke gemalachi na helion gra. Spibueke gedokichi an karpefuer on Mars. Zwiebelekje nachenjeren, Shigramachri, smeiche de shark, Avrinjelir jasok, Sustelchenir shepok, Hons var bjørn bei gamle mors, Mars jasmar, jordlinje gamle lad. Narun Nawan Junkatu Nuanatu I'll know no nanyon che nachaganyachu achwit gantril sestor o chagame Sniame Smadanyon yn sen ac oniwch me. Awr yn y lir da sog, stwys jers y mir sypog. Hwn swar biom bai gan y mort. Mar sy jas mar a hiolin gawn y net Ireland nor Narum. I think I'm down with Joe Heaney in his vocal range at this point.
Well, I can't imagine anyone who's not down with Joe Heaney, but anyway. That was absolutely gorgeous, and not a bit of difficulty with it. Gorgeous altogether.
Yeah, just the breath, but never mind.
Look, sure, you'll get that again, Thanks. Go on, what are you going to say? Thanks a million, Virginia. I'm going to move to Fergus Russell. Do you want to unmute yourself there, Ferg?
You hear me, Marta?
I can hear you and see you.
Yeah. No, I don't know how my sound will be tonight because for some reason my machine, I've got a bad signal and yet I'm up in Dublin, so I don't know, maybe my machine's gone off. Anyway, it's great to be singing at the Frank Harte Festival again, and thanks to everybody who put a lot of work into making sure this year's festival went ahead, and it's great to see so many of our friends on Zoom on this singing night. Anyway, right, you can hear me, can you?
Yeah, perfectly. And
okay. Right, okay, I'll sing this song. Oh, I used to be a ladies' man, but that's all over now. For courting 6 girls all at once didn't suit me anyhow. My mother said it was naughty, but I wouldn't take her advice. Although she said it was naughty, well, I found it very nice. For on Monday I met Mary Ann, on Tuesday Mary Jane, on Wednesday Charming Miss McCann, on Thursday Catty Payne, on Friday Molly Hopkins, and on Saturday Miss McCall. But I wouldn't go out on Sunday night for fear I'd meet them all. Oh, I wrote a note to Mary Ann, addressed to Mary Jane, signed to Charming Miss McCann, in care of Catty Payne, sent to Molly Hopkins, but delivered to Miss McCall. And that was how they found me out, and they made me pay for all. For on Monday I met Mary Ann, on Tuesday Mary Jane, on Wednesday Charming Miss McCann, on Thursday Catty Payne, on Friday Molly Hopkins, and on Saturday Miss McCall. But I wouldn't go out on Sunday night for fear I'd meet them all. Oh, I never will forget the day I met those darling 6. They scowled and said, "'Tis now you'll pay for all your dirty tricks." Mary Ann, she ripped me coat, Mary Jane me overalls, and Miss McCann brought round a man, and he kicked me in the ankle. Oh, Catty Payne, she scrubbed me face till it ran red with blood, and dirty Molly Hopkins, well, she splattered me with mud. And then to make the job complete, the vengeful Miss McCall, she banged me hat till it was flat against the garden wall. For on Monday I met Mary Ann, on Tuesday Mary Jane, on Wednesday Charming Miss McCann, on Thursday Catty Payne, On Friday, Molly Hopkins, and on Saturday, Miss McCall. Now it serves me right for every night. I haven't got one at all. Thank you.
Fantastic. That's another great word, scrub. My
Yeah,
sister was
scrub.
always
Yeah,
scrubbing
good
me.
Dublin word, I think.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm actually going to hand over to Mr. O'Reilly, who's going to take over for the next few guests, I hope. Is he there? Jerry?
I am here.
Super.
I am here. I was keeping quiet.
Oh, well. What's seldom
Very
is
difficult. Very
wonderful.
difficult for me. Thanks very much, Mara. Good to meet him, Mahagat.
Míle fáilte.
Great, lovely, fantastic singing so far, and let's keep it rolling. Right, so Lainey Dempsey, are you ready to? Lovely. How are things in Glasgow?
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad. Very autumnal, but pretty beautiful out in the parks.
Oh, lovely. Okay, Lainey, lash it out.
This song I'm going to sing, the first person I heard sing this was Fiona here. And then I went and looked it up. I looked up Frank Harte singing it. And for me, I went on a bit of a journey with it. It started off as a funny song and it's ended up quite a feisty one. It's about taking the soup. Come all good Christians, I declare, won't you follow me down to Marion Square? Each murdering thief will get mutton and beef if he prays with Mrs. Smiley. Super, super, ring your bell. Super, super, fare ye well. Super, super, go to hell and pray with Mrs. Smiley. Mary Brown, she was terrible poor. Her neighbors said she was on the floor. Now she rides to hell in a coach and four, since she prayed with Mrs. Smiley. And Maisie Brown, she lived in a room. She lived there down in the Coombe. Now she entertains in her own saloon, since she prayed with Mrs. Smiley. Super, super, ring your bell. Super, super, fare ye well. Super, super, go to hell and pray with Mrs. Smiley. Jemmy Beam was a terrible Turk. Jemmy Beam was out to work, so he thought he'd go and try his luck by praying with Mrs. Smiley. And Jemmy stood at the back of the hall when they sang the Rock of All Ages. And Jemmy roared at the top of his voice, the workers want more wages. Super, super, ring your bell. Super, super, fare ye well. Super, super, go to hell and pray with Mrs. Smiley. You can curse, you may swear, and the devil may care, commit murder and be most wicked, but they'll send you to heaven and they'll pay the fare and they'll buy you a first-class ticket. On a Sunday morn down in Marion Hall, there were angels there for the making, but to Mrs. Smiley they pawned their soul for the soup and the hairy bacon. Super, super, ring your bell. Super, super, fare ye well. Super, super, go to hell and pray with Mrs. Smiley. Thanks.
Good girl, lady. Lovely. The worst thing that anyone could ever be said in rural Ireland was that they said your family took the soup. That's the worst thing That's
My
a
gran used
dreadful. That's a dreadful insult in rural Ireland.
Well, my gran used to say it, but she would say it like about politicians and things like that. So not necessarily, you know, like somebody that she was thinking.
It dates back to the famine when
yeah.
lots of the
I know
Protestant
that.
churches came to Ireland proselytizing, and they offered soup to the people who were starving. You know.
Yeah, well, I know that now, but at the time I didn't. So I was thinking, why is Granny saying that politician's taking the soup?
Lovely. Thanks, Lainey. Okay, Mick Keeley. Where are you, Mick? There he is.
How you doing? All right. You hear me, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, try this. Where am I? Oh, come in, you brave who breast a wave, and listen to my wail. 'Twas not so weird was ever heard before in Unish Vale. 'Twill make you weep and gnash your teeth, and turn your heart to stone. For Carney's creased, gone west, deceased, and left for parts unknown. We've searched in vain from Watery Lane to the wilds of Inchicore. The seventh loch conceals him not, nor Falkland's Auchen shore. Your aunt may sigh in pipery, and speak in whispered tones, for Carney Slick has cut his stick, and left for parts unknown. No more he'll breast the cuckoo's nest, or ramble in Old Bon. The dodder trout can venture out, their poaching foe is gone. No more they'll gush poetic slush, while tortured tipplers moan. By book or crook he slung his hook, and left for parts unknown. Now every day I draw me pay, and wander far and near. I lap up stout till bloated out, to see if I can hear. Be any chance where Carney haunts, or where he might sojourn. 'Cause I'll tell you, boys, I'll be surprised if he does not return. There's something new to lift our hearts once more. For Carney knew a lad or two be Dolphin's barn shore. And they all say that knew his ways, if Carney wants a jar. There's little doubt his ghost hangs out inside the Grafton bar. So heave you home, me hearty boys, and swiftly anchor weigh, and guide the horse upon its course to Portobello Bay. And when we're tied, no time we'll bind, but go be bus and car, to drink a toast with Carney's ghost inside the Grafton bar. Let's all drink a toast with Carney's ghost inside the Grafton bar.
Come on, Mick.
Jerry.
Okay, so moving on to Anne Skelton. Anne, hello, how are you? Unmute. Now you're there. Lovely.
I'm sorry, Jerry. I don't know why that always takes so long. Anyway, we're there. Thanks, Jerry. And thank you, Maura, and thank you, everybody at the Frank Harte Festival. This is such a lovely night. And all I can say is that the salary must be great. all the work he put into it.
They couldn't pay us enough money, Anne. Do you know that?
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, that's why you're there.
As the fella said, if you needed to pay me, you wouldn't be able to. Thanks, Anne. Lovely.
So I'm going to follow Donnie Nolan and sing a Limerick song. It's lovely to see and hear Donnie. So I'll try the Leaving of Limerick. As I roved out one evening down by the Assembly Mall, I heard two lovers speaking as me and my love passed on. And the words that passed between them, they were but very few. It's not the leaving of Limerick that grieves me, but my darling leaving you. In the morning when I am going, I will take you by the lily white hand, and I'll wave it over my shoulder in due to the Limerick strand. So farewell to the boys of Thomond Gate, it's to them I will bid adieu. It's not the leaving of Limerick that grieves me, but my darling leaving you. So now that we must be parted, I hope you will understand why I must go broken hearted, far away from my native land. Though my fond love, I must leave you. You know my heart is true. It's not the leaving of Limerick that grieves me, but my darling leaving you. Ginny?
That's lovely. That's an absolutely lovely song, Anne. There's no doubt about that.
Thank you, Jerry.
Right. So, by the way, just before we leave, Anne, how are you feeling after? Have you recovered? She's gone. Okay. Great. Okay. So moving on to Ian Russell, and I think you're in Aberdeen, Ian. You are. Yes. Lovely. Deadly silence. Still muted, I know. Now you're unmuted.
It won't respond to my click, 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 Jerry. Okay. Right. Oh, well, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I'm a little bit hoarse tonight, but we'll have a go and really appreciate being invited, Jerry. Thank you. In the year of 1840, there was a murder on the Glasgow to Edinburgh Railway. and the immediate presumption were 3 Irish navvies. They didn't have justice, they didn't have a chance, they were convicted. Whether they did it or not, I don't know. The chances are they didn't. They were just convicted. And here's a song that Stanley Robertson sang, and Stanley described it as a song that you didn't sing outside the family. My parents reared I think Virginia's got to me.
My parents reared you up to the church.
I know the words, Jerry.
Yeah.
My parents reared me tenderly. My parents reared me tenderly up to the Church of Rome, but I started for to ramble, I started for to roam, I started for to ramble and go my evil way, till I became a navvy on the Western New Railway, with one of the cruelest gangers there that you have ever seen. One of the cruelest gangers, boys, his name was Edward Green. He charged me 4 and 4pence, he took it off my pay, for bracking an all-wheelbarrow on the Western New Railway. It fell upon a Saturday, the boys had gone to town, and Green the ganger did not know that I was still around, with a loaded pistol in my hand. It's there I did him sway, and I followed Green the ganger of the Western New Railway. Now Green the ganger, he had gone to light the bothy fire. I quickly followed after, and then did bar the door, with that loaded pistol in my hand. It's there I made him pay, and I murdered Green the ganger of the Western New Railway. Now 6 long months were nearly up, I was happy as a king, but £50 was offered to anyone could sing. Yes, £50 was offered to anyone could say who'd murdered Green the ganger of the Western New Railway. Now 6 long months were past and gone, I was happy as could be. Says I to myself, I'll take a trip my countrymen to see. One night in Cork, when I fell drunk, I foolishly did say,
'Twas I killed Green, the ganger of the Western New Railway. I was quickly followed after, and into jail was flung. And before the judge and the jury, boys, I was sentenced to be hung. I told that judge and the jury there, and all those standing by, 'twas I killed Green, the ganger, and I'm ready for to die. My parents reared me tenderly up to the Church of Rome, but I started for to ramble, I started for to roam, I started for to ramble and go my evil way, till I became a navvy on the Western New Railway.
Good man, Liam. Good
Green
man,
the
Liam.
Ganger.
Lovely.
Sorry about the shaky start.
Oh, lovely.
It nearly got a new tune.
Well, I can sort of tell the story, Ian, because I heard Ian singing that song, and we discovered that the O'Mallode family in Rathcarn had a version. So when Ian and his wife Norma came over, we actually went with Seamus O'Mallode and went down to Rathcarn, and Martin O'Mallode, who I think, as far as I'm aware, unless somebody else has other information, is the only one I know who has the version of that song, which is lovely. Thanks, Ian. Melissa.
Hi, thanks so much. I'm just delighted to be here today. And I wanted to sing a shorter song. It's one of the first songs that I learned from Frank Harte when he was coming to the States and teaching at the Augusta Heritage Festival in the summers. So this is False, False, Have You Been?
Melissa, Melissa, please, can I ask you that you turn off your video, because your signal is ridiculously low, and you'll end up freezing. You know, that's great. Thank you. Lovely. Yes, we'd love to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
That's perfect.
Okay, good. All right. I want to sing a song it's one of the first songs I learned from Frank Harte when he came to teach at the Augusta Heritage Festivals in the summers in the States many years ago. False have you been unto me, my love? How often you changed your mind, and you've laid your love on some other fair young maid. I'm afraid you're no longer mine. Come and sit down beside me on the grass, he said. Come sit on the grass so green, for it's just 3/4 of a year or more since together we have been. No, I'll not sit by you on or I hear you're in love with a false connaught maid, and your heart's no longer mine. For I claim that was too high for me, seeking fruit where there wasn't any growing, and I was lifting warm water from beneath cold clay, and against the sea I'll rub, I'll rest, and I'll come straight down without any fear to the arms that love me the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. Unfortunately, it was breaking up a little bit, but thank you for singing. We really appreciated it. Thank you. Rudy Gregg. Hello, Rudy. How are you? I haven't touched it. Can somebody unmute Rudy?
Okay, is that better?
Yes, there you're there now, Rudy.
Right, lovely to be here this evening to sing at the Frank Harte Festival. I saw Frank Harte sing at Grimsby Folk Club, and I was very impressed with his vast knowledge of particularly urban songs, sort of a different slant on them, and a tremendous range of songs. So I thought I'd do a musical song, which was one of my great auntie's party pieces that she reckoned she learnt from the Pierrot show on Cleethorpes Beach. But it was written by a chap called Tommy Connor, so maybe Irish in origin. I know a lot of lazy men and meet them when I may. They've never got a shilling, always stony broke, they say. But me, I'm just the other way, for I'm a man of biz. I've always got a shilling in me pocket, here it is. But I can't change it, I can't change it. The reason why I let you know it's one I made myself, and so I can't change it, no matter how I try. But I hope to cheat a blind man in the sweet by and by. I've never been a proud young man, as anyone can see. The fashions I don't care about, 'cause clothes don't bother me. I'll never be a dandy, but I'm satisfied to know I've got one shirt upon me back. I can say that, although I can't change it, I can't change it. Although it fits me like a blooming sack, I've got one shirt to me back, so I can't change it, no, never mean to try. And when it's being washed, I stay in bed until it's dry. I got an invitation to a wedding down our way, so I went into a shop to get a new hat yesterday. I soon found what I wanted, from the premises did quit, but when I tried it on me head, I found it wouldn't fit. But I can't change it, I can't change it, for when the shopman turned his back and nicked the hat from off the rack, so I can't change it, nor never mean to try, or I might be sewing mailbags in the sweet by and by. I thought that I'd get married like a lot of foolish men. Got the girl, got the ring, got the rice and shoes. But when the job was over, I got took down a peg. Her hair, her eyes, her teeth were false, and she had a wooden leg. But I can't change her, I can't change her. It was a great surprise to me, half a woman and half a tree, but I can't change her, no matter how I try. But I'll chop her up for firewood in the sweet by and by.
Lovely stuff, lovely, Rory. I've a vague recollection of having heard it before, but that's all. It's lovely, it's brilliant. Thank you. Great. Okay, so moving on to Catherine Cullen. Catherine, hello, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me now?
That
Hi
was
there.
lovely this afternoon, Catherine. Really, really nice. Annette,
great.
Rosie and myself really enjoyed watching it. It was lovely.
Great. Well, we've had about 120 viewers up to date. So this is a little event for people who don't know that I did with Poetry Ireland for the Frank Harte about weaving weaving, really, about the weaving industry, weaving songs and weaving stories. I'll put the link, will I, in the
That would be lovely, Catherine. Thank you very much.
And people can watch it back.
That would be lovely.
So I'll do that after I've read my poem, which is now my screensavers come on. So that's the disadvantage of reading poems off your phone. This is I wrote a poem about Frank Harte years ago when he died first, but this is a poem that I wrote last year for the event that we did with Poetry Ireland then. And I wanted to write a poem about Frank's first experience of hearing a ballad. And I know that Burke has a mention of that in his song as well. Also, I noticed Mick Keeley had a very insulting line about poets in his song. I can't remember what it was now. So this, I call this poem Broadside. I'm not sure if it's quite the right name. But anyway, I have a little quote at the start of it. It's from Yeats's The Fiddler of Dooney, and I read in my book of songs that I bought at the Sligo Fair. Now, I know Boyle isn't in Sligo, but I thought it was a suitable quote. So here's the poem. At the fair in Boyle, you were all ears, drinking the pungent air, half drowned in the stink and clamour, waves of sound rushing the shore of your 14 years. Card sharps slyly shuffling, calves wailing, the bargain king's oratory from the high junction, dirty stop-outs calling pints without compunction, peddlers of corduroy by the hospital railing. Over the whirlpool of spittle and hand-slapping, one voice flung you a lifeline. You caught hold of a hard traveller's song, were sold on the arc of his ballad, its mapping of suffering in small places. Through the throng, you floated in his wake, learned how the cursed raise at injustice a clenched fist of verse, tender their dead a winding sheet of song. You found your voice, wound it your whole life long. That's it.
That's a lovely poem, Catherine. Thank you very, very much. In actual fact, I think Frank's relations, they actually lived in Sligo rather than than Boyle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew he had some connection.
That part of Boyle, you go over into Eastkey, and it's just on the border of Roscommon and Sligo, and that's where Frank's people came from, as far as I'm aware. You know. Thank you.
I think
Catherine.
that's right.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Lovely. And we'll move on to John Roberts. John, hello. How are you? There you are. Now.
Am I now?
You are. You're there. Perfect now.
I keep getting the message the host is not allowing participants to unmute themselves.
I think you have to be asked to unmute before you can unmute.
Well, I still couldn't. In 1993, my partner Lisa Preston and I spent a week with Frank at a singing camp in Massachusetts. I'm not sure he enjoyed the camp itself very much, but we had a good time with him, enough so that the next Christmas we got a little package in the mail, and he sent Lisa an inscribed copy of his Dublin songbook, and he sent me a copy of a poem. It said, "John, I thought you might like this poem. I learned you're hanging on the old barbed wire," which is not a song I thought he wouldn't have known, but nonetheless. The poem was written by Michael Cody. It's called The Poppy in the Brain. They shall be remembered forever. Chance preserved in someone's bric-a-brac this fading studio dream of a home county's beauty smiling in soft focus with the legend, "Buy war bonds and feed the guns," under which indelibly he'd penciled all his innocence before he met the shrapnel and the wire. I hope you get this safe. I'm all right and being treated well. You need not worry, I have good blankets and am warm. I don't know how next time they'll feed you for it, how they'll lace and flavor up the same old bullshit, but they'll find a way. They'll find a way. And though I'd like to feel your kids are smarter now and not for gulling, let me not feed you bullshit of my own, while knowing in my heart's dismay you'll line up and obey. Oh yes, you will, you know. You always do. You'll line up and obey. If you want to find the general, I know where he is. I know where he is. I know where he is. If you want to find the general, I know where he is. In Paris at the Folies Bergère. I saw him in Paris at the Folies Bergère. I saw him in Paris at the Folies Bergère. And if you want to find the Colonel, I know where he is. I know where he is. I know where he is. If you want to find the Colonel, I know where he is. He's pinning another medal on his chest. I saw him, pinning another medal on his chest. I saw him, pinning another medal on his chest. And if you want to find the Major, I know where he is. I know where he is. I know where he is. If you want to find the Major, I know where he is. He's drinking up the company rum. I saw him, drinking up the company rum. I saw him drinking up the company rum. And if you want to find the sergeant, I know where he is. I know where he is. I know where he is. If you want to find the sergeant, I know where he is. He's brewing up another pot of tea. I saw him, brewing up another pot of tea. I saw him brewing up another pot of tea. And if you want to find the privates, I know where they are. I know where they are. I know where they are. If you want to find the privates, I know where they are. They're hanging on the old barbed wire. I saw him, hanging on the old barbed wire. I saw him hanging on the old barbed wire.
Good man, John. Lovely song. I like that. I like that one. Thank you very much. So we'll the woman who's been doing it all, Mara Cronin. We'd like to have a song from Mara.
I don't know about doing it all.
It would be remiss of us to let the night go by without hearing from Marla.
Sure, you all hear too much from me, but anyway.
Never, ever.
Oh yeah, I'll pay him later. Okay, I am in two minds actually, because I made an absolute hames of Ulysses last week, and it just kind of, the whole seize the day aspect of that song is what I've been kind of thinking about this weekend, because like these amazing nights are over before you kind of realize they're over. They're slipped into the past before you've really had a chance to enjoy them in the present. And you know, these weekends are always like that. But then on the other hand, I could make another hames of it, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to go with an old one, Cashlani Nail. Haven't had too much Gaeilge tonight either, so we'll try Cashlani Nail and see what happens. Mama kunna hiere She malena hien noch de tau Laisse-moi chelin speidul I'm breaking shall alone Ni skelded. Maar is balach not and far room. Sgwyl magravan in regan. Ay agleil savere nach du. Da jalische feindom kom jeg kamalana verdus. Da jalische nixon kom jeg enties etter meg agastu. Galhunden eigen leidom Garlegas latsamarum Ak fariertain gerduch Tan sel satachtider meist tu. Tam gardin shanasoch vile grajans nimishtelagay. Gach pode galacht Ek fastan God I barina grave. Ní clister sa troidse Gyo clarsin o gyalor no nan. O delig magrom Cool fanog go kuslani nel. Agus tá siad árá go alana man dasarm féin. Is nói a íon rá agus tá siad árá go alana man dasarm féin. Is nói mátá a íon rá ní miste le é mar dogus nail lá Neidrogus ein seachtain deag cúltaí rágeal Ebseach arní ó bharína grave. A chamanel sa homsocht Edús an táirí dá de cálam féin. Amach tríd na glánta nuair an ilanín mar déalnan rian fé. Ba cuire nu gauna Ní hon táing se letiad mar spray. Ach má lá faoid a chamsa Scad láhairt lamp go hom do é. Sinead?
Thanks, Mara. Good to meet you, Lovely. 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 Okay, so we go down under to Rebecca Sweeney. Hello, Rebecca. Can we unmute her? Great stuff. Great stuff.
It's lovely to wake up to such beautiful singing and poetry, and that was gorgeous, Mara. This is a Frank Harte song. Ye lovers all great and small who live in Ireland. No, I'm going to start that again. Ye lovers all both great and small who live in Ireland. Oh, I pray you pay attention whilst I my pen command. It was on my father's anger that drove my love away, but I still have hopes we'll meet again in North America. My love is tall and handsome, and to him I gave my heart. And little was our notion that we would ever part. It was in my father's garden that this flower did decay, but I still have hopes we'll meet again in North America. Now I did not want for money, kind fortune on me shone. So out of my father's castle I took 300 pounds. It was in the town of Belfast my passage I did pay, and then set sail across the sea to far America. Now the captain's wife was kind to me, as you may understand, and she kept me in her cabin until we reached dry land. It was in the town of Quebec we landed on the quay, and I knew not where to seek my love in all America. Now I, being sick and sore and tired, I went into an inn. It was there I found my William, the lad I loved within. He took me gently by the hand, and to me he did say, I never thought I'd see your face in all America. Now I hear this couple has got wed, as you may understand, and I hear they live quite happily in a town they call St. John's. And the money that she took from home, well, in gold she paid it down, and they think no more of Ireland or Enniskillen town.
Lovely, Rebecca.
Lovely, Rebecca.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So, Confather O'Driscoll.
Yes, sir.
Chassous Over our own machine.
I won't draw myself up to my full height because my
Oh, please don't do that, Con.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to chance my tonsorial treatise.
Lovely.
Hunting the Hare, dedicated to all those gentlemen who have issues with what's on top of their head.
Is there a book called Hunting the Hare and Other Pursuits?
There sure is, yeah, and it's every home should have one. And if any one of you is in the Teachers Club tomorrow night, I believe we might even have a few copies at a knockdown price. Anyway, chances. I noted of late with anxiety and fear that my hair as a species would soon disappear. Round the edges I still had a plentiful crop, but alas, 'twas all barren and shiny on top. As the fur on my skull became visibly scanter, my friends showed a talent for scurrilous banter. They'd look at my head and start talking of domes, like the great Taj Mahal or St. Peter's in Rome. So I tried to stay cheerful and not to look glum, despite having a pate like a small baby's bum, till one day I was plunged into gloom and distress by a charming young lady I liked to impress. You think that it makes you look clever, she said, to be wearing that hubcap on top of your head. With my hand on the Bible, I then took an oath that I'd find some device to replenish my growth. When I spoke to my doctor, I quickly concluded he knew not the cause of my cranial nudity. Tell me, says he, are you taking strong drugs? They could loosen the roots of your personal rug. Fondness for drink to hair growth is inimical, as is the handling of weed-killing chemicals. Also enduring a terrible fright could induce on your summit a terminal blight. Your notion, says I, that I got to be hairless through working with Roundup in ways that are careless makes no sense to me and gives you no excuse to allege that I'm guilty of substance abuse. By the way, I last suffered a serious shock in 2013 when Clare Hurlers beat Cork. Though my heart on the day took a terrible jolt, I don't think that it caused my fine plumage to molt. Of Dr. Capelli's restorative lacquer, I'd heard so 170 smackers I paid him to pay for a 5-litre batch, which the man guaranteed would restore my old thatch. Despite all his talk about secret ingredients, not one tuft appeared in those desolate regions, but since it was blended from animal fats, I was followed for weeks by a herd of stray cats. I next paid a call on a doctor called Gaynor. The plate on his door said consultant hair trainer. He surveyed my skull with tape measures and probes. Then he said, let's consider your head as the globe. Behind your left ear, between Fiji and Tonga, you have some fine locks that you need to grow longer. We'll draw them northeast, passing through Ecuador, and they'll finish in Wexford, just off Carnsore. Continuing with these geographical similes, fine curly locks I see south of the Himalayas. These can be trained to creep over your scalp and be neatly tied down at the foot of the Alps. But says I, won't those tempests and gales equatorial spoil your ingenious arrangements tonsorial? Though I acknowledge your theories are fine, they'd require super glue or a big ball of twine. In the wig shop I gaze at impressive displays of crown toppers, hairpieces, rugs and toupees. Says the man, we have products of each style and class, whether mullet, Mohican or 50s duck's ass. You can choose any look, whether clean-cut librarian, spiky-haired punk or chilled-out Rastafarian. Short back and sides you can have with a fringe, or the gimp of a crusty going home from Stonehenge. Apart from enhancing your gracious coiffure, a wig can have many more uses, I'm sure. It can buff your new shoes to restore their bright sheen, or if stuck for a rag, 'twill demist your windscreen. When you take up the spuds, it can serve as a strainer for eggs or blackberries, a handy container. And Donegal cats long ago had a phase where they liked to give birth in their owners' toupees. As I walked out the door, I laid eyes on a brochure which promised a cure for my polar exposure. It said, if the hair on your noggin is scant, you should give us a call and arrange a transplant. Some hair from the sides and the back we can pillage, then through elementary cosmetic tillage, we'll graft them all over those regions so bare. But I thought that I found a response to my prayer. Then I looked at the price and it proved diabolical. 9,000 hairs at €10 per follicle. Children don't like to go hungry to bed while their dad spends the money landscaping his head. Then I thought for a while and I knew 'twas insanity, searching for measures to comfort my vanity. Time and good money no longer I'll spend, and my face to the back of my neck can extend. For no matter how sinful your life or how virtuous, some heads are evergreen, more are deciduous. Curls in your head are a source of great pride, but you know that what counts is the stuff that's inside. Hair provides shelter for bugs and cockroaches, big maggots, small mice, and those earwigs ferocious. I'll polish my pate till it dazzles and gleams, and save money on barber's shampoo and Brill cream. Thank you.
Yes, Con, thank you very much. Lovely.
Fantastic. I love the way he has a bit of cop in the end, though, and he doesn't go.
I'm not supposed to enjoy that so much. Marta, I'm handing over to Marta. Thanks, Marta.
Super, thanks, Jerry. Yeah, I like the way he has a bit of cop in the end, and he actually he doesn't spend all the money on getting his hair replaced, unlike Elton John. But then I suppose Elton John has more money than he knows what to do with. So, all right, I'm going to move on to Anne Lamb. Anne, can you unmute?
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, Moira. I'm delighted to be in Dublin. I'm in the Castle Hotel.
Just before you start,
I'm going to sing a song from County.
Just two things. One is that your bandwidth is quite narrow, so you're not coming across. So maybe you could turn off your camera, and that will give us a bit more bandwidth for your sound.
I'll do that.
And then the other thing is just to forewarn a few people that they're going to be called. So after yourself, I'm going to call Micheál Quinn and then Karen Mail. And then I'm going to call Donnie Nolan, who thinks he's getting away scot-free, but isn't. Then I'm going to call Kathy Hopkirk, and I'll call a few more people after that. Okay, brilliant. Off you go, Anne.
I'm going to sing a song from County Durham. You'll often hear the songs of a collier laddie's life. You never hear a word about the collier laddie's wife. He likes to fill his boots, but he should spend it in mine. I'd a man to keep and 7 bairns by I was 29. And I know it's hard down underground, but shifts come to an end. I've a constant battle with the dust, with making, do and mend. Cooking, cleaning, washing, till me hands are red and rough. Scratting round for coppers, but there's never quite enough. And if I had a farthing for each time he said he loved me, I wouldn't have a penny in me purse. It's as if I'm bought and paid for, how he sets himself above me. When I'm stuck with him for better or for worse. Life's a constant struggle when the wolf is at the door. Every day's just getting by and never getting more. And if anyone would listen, every collier lass would tell how she's stuck inside a cage while he goes down in his to hell. And if I were a linnet, I would fly away from sorrow. I'd leave behind this world so full of care. I'd reach beyond the pit heaps and I'd show me bairns tomorrow. Let them soar and tell them that it's theirs. The passing years are measured out in tiny victories. A baby's smile, big meeting day, large banners in the breeze. A canny line of washing, bacon sizzling in the pan. But if I had me time again, I'd be born a man. His wife. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try that again. That was gorgeous, Anne. I don't know what's going on. The old tech here is just acting up a little bit. But anyway, sure, hopefully we'll get there. I'm going to move on to Micheál Quinn. If I can find, there you are. Yeah. Are you unmuted? There you are.
I'm unmuted.
Perfect. All right, my dear, off you go. Give us something. Give us a song.
Right. Thank you.
And you.
When I am drinking, I'm always thinking of my true lover, though very far away. This very night I will go and see her, although she's many a long mile away. Although the night be as dark as dungeons, and not a star in the sky to appear, sure I will ramble without stumble till I reach the arms of my weary dear. As I went up to her bedroom window, and kneeling down there upon the stone, and through the pane spoke slowly to her, dear love, what makes you lay there alone? The maiden rose from her pillow. She clasped her hands to her lily white breast. Who's there at my bedroom window, disturbing me from my good night's rest? It's your true lover, it's Jack the Rover. Make no delay, love, but let me in, for I am tired fatigued and weary, more than this soaked to the skin. The maid arose, she opened the door. She opened the door and she let me in. We both shook hands and embraced each other, still hoping daylight would not shine again. But daylight, daylight is fast approaching. Yon rocky mountains I now must climb, but I will climb them without stumble, since I lay in the arms of my Mary dear. Thank you.
Oh, that was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. Ramaga's me, huh? Gorgeous. I'm going to move on to Karen Mail. Karen, will you unmute yourself there?
Have I succeeded?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Never done it on the tablet before, but I couldn't get the full computer into my bag to fly over. I'm sitting at the other end of the square from Anne. We had lunch together, but we're not in the same dinner together. We're not in the same hotel. So this song is called "The Song of the Under-10s," and it was written by a friend of mine who says every verse was a kid she taught in Leicester some time ago. But things don't change much. When I get home, the mice are everywhere. They run across the sticky floor and through the hole in the kitchen door that Dad made when he came here before. And who knows how I spend my time, and who's to care? When I get home, my mother goes to work. The little ones turn round to me. They want my time, they want their tea, oh Lord. Why won't they let me be? And who knows how I spend my time, and who's to care? When I get home, my brothers start on me. My mother looks but doesn't see. I feel the rage building up in me, and I run, and no one looks for me. And who knows how I spend my day, and who's to care? When I get home, I'll know the answer. They put him where he ought to be, 'cause I told him what he did to me. God help us if they set him free, 'cause he knows how I spend my day, and who's to care? When I get home, the walls close in on me. And even though I'm just a child, I can see the way the bricks are piled, and you wonder why I'm running wild. 'cause who knows how I spend my day, and who's to care? Written by Lynn Cooper.
Yeah, I remember you singing that before at a weekend, and
It's on the CD, yeah.
I remember asking you for the words, but I just thought it was so true of some of the places I've taught. And
Yeah, Lynn Cooper.
yeah, excellent song, and well sung. Karen, thanks a million. Just before I move on to Donny Nolan, I'm going to be asking him to unmute now in a second, but before we get stuck into another song from him, I just want to read out a few more of the Facebook names. So we have Lorraine Aubert, we've Noel Fahy, Catherine Shortall, Jack Plunkett, Dimfna O'Brien, Blahi Neiliahan, Lillian Hammond, Stephen Moston, I think, Mosto, Terry O'Brien, Peter and Katie Kilbride, Brie Kelly, Dervlin Ivrolchan, Kechuil to Dervla, Racker Donnelly, Trish Santer, Sheila Niaulu, Vincent O'Connor, Marnie Wheel, Kechuil to Oide, Matthew Edwards, Jane Ormsby, and Morris McGrath. And we also have another list. So Fergus Carey, Ray McLaughlin, Moira Vicagon, James Ash, Colette Gallagher, Paul Reardon or Reedon, Kite Bridgman, Rosemary Heron, Emmett Farrell, Lorcan Jones, Claire Horgan, how you Claire, Jess Smith, Patrick Daly, and Eileen Webster. And if I've mispronounced your name, I'm really sorry. My eyes are not brilliant. So okay,
Mara, can I just suggest that the Lillian Hammond you read out as William Hammond?
Oh, could be even. Let me see.
And I know he's a particular friend of yours.
Oh, Willie, yeah, William, yeah. Really. All I can say is the eyes are not great, and sure, everybody who knows me knows I'm half blind anyway. I'll have to go looking at that again. Anyway, that's grand. Whoever you are, hello, thanks for coming and thanks for watching. And now, Donny Nolan, will you unmute? You're there and you're ready. Mahan Far.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to sing for us?
I was thinking about that. A song that doesn't need any introduction, I suppose. Boys Upon the Shrouders.
Oh, lovely stuff. Off you go, so.
Oh, the town that climbs the mountain and looks out on the sea. At sleeping time or waking, sure 'tis there I long to be, to walk again those kindly streets, the place my life began, with the boys of Strider, who hunted for the rand. With cudgel stout we roamed about to hunt the gate rolling. We searched for birds in every forest, from Letter to Dunin. We jumped for joy beneath the sky. Life had no print or plan, for we boys of Strider, a hunting for the rand. And when the hills were bleeding and the rifles were aflame, to the rebel homes of Kerry, the Saxon stranger came. But the boys who dared the Aussies and fought the black and tans were once boys and born a Strider, a hunting for the ram. But now the toil on foreign soil, where they have made their way, deep in the heart of London town, Chicago or Broadway, and I am left to sing their deeds and to praise them while I can. Those boys of honest rider who hunted for the ram. So here's a health to them tonight, those lads who laughed with me by the groves round Carron River, or the slopes of Benetee. John Dolligan, Barandy, the Shields, Far and Dan, mongst the boys of Barnestrider, who hunted for the ram. Now when the wheel of life runs down, and peace comes over me, just lay me down near that old town between the hills and sea. I'll take my sleep amongst those green fields where I grew from boy to man, with the boys of Barnestrider, who hunted for the ram. Real Margaret, thanks very much.
Donny, that was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to move on to Kathy Halkirk. How are you going?
Hiya, how you doing?
Still here, still through.
Oh, thanks be to God and his blessed mother. I was completely mesmerised by Donny. That was mighty, as you say. This is a song. Now, the Kesh is what she's singing this week. Not Burns.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Right.
I might get flung out the country. But it is Scots.
Okay.
And I have decided it's a song of, how can I put this delicately? A song of absent fornication.
Okay, gotta hear this.
On my Joe.
No, no, but I'm thinking that there could be like a workshop involved in this at some point. Songs with no shagging in them. Oh, are we allowed to say that on Facebook? Oh, too bad, I've said it now. This is called Hi Jeannie Hi, from the singing of the lovely, late lamented Gardina McCulloch, who was for a devilment and all. My father was a gentleman was he, and he wad me to an old man, oh, 60 year and 3, and sing high, Jeannie, high, and sing low, Jeannie, low. He can never make a singing bird out o' a hoodie crow. Afore I'd marry an old man with 30 ploughs in land, I'd rather marry a young man we only hat in hand, and sing high, Ginny, high, and sing low, Ginny, low. He can never mak a singing bird out o' a hoodie craw. And when we gan to bed at e'en, he turns into the wall, and ne'er a word to me to spar, till morning left the door, and sing high, Ginny, high, and sing low, Ginny, low. He can never mak a singing bird out o' a hoodie craw. Some neighbours have advised me to drown him in a well, and others have advised me to grind him in a mill, and sing high, Ginny, high, and sing low, Ginny, low. He can never mak a singing bird out o' a hoodie craw. But I hae ta'en my ain advice, I've borne him to a plain, I've tied him to a wannel stray, he'll ne'er come back again, and sing high, Ginny, high, and sing low, Ginny, low. He can never mak a singing bird out o' a hoodie craw. There you go.
Super singing, super singing. Lovely
Thank
stuff.
you.
Kathy, I'm going to move on to Pádraig O'Looney. Na Pádraig, Atatún Sin. Now, we'll try that again. There you go.
Grand.
Super.
Yeah.
Now, what are you going to give us?
The big things blocking me view there. Rosie sang what's probably my favourite Waterloo song earlier on, so I'll sing the close second.
Lovely.
Oh, as I roved out on a fine summer's morning, for to view the gay banks of a pure purling stream, there I spied a charming fair maid making sad lamentation, and I threw myself in ambush for to hear her sad complaint. Through the woods she marched alone, caused the valleys for to ring, all the fine feathered songsters around her head they flew, saying the wars they are all over, and peace it is returning. Yet my Willie's not returning from the plains of Waterloo. I stepped up to this fair maid and said, my fond creature, oh, may I make inquiry as to what's your true love's name? For I have been in battle where the cannons loud did rattle, and by his description now I might have known the same. Willie Riley's my love's name, he's a hero of great fame, though he's gone and left me in sorrow now 'tis true. No one shall me enjoy but my own darling boy. But now he's not returning from the plains of Waterloo. If Willie Riley's your love's name, then he's a hero of great fame. He and I have been in battle throughout many's the long campaign. Through Italy and Russia, through Germany and Prussia. Oh, he was me loyal comrade through France and through Spain, until at length by the French we were surrounded. Like heroes of old, we did them pursue. We fought for 3 days until we had defeated him, that brave Napoleon Boney, on the plains of Waterloo. The 18th of June it been, and in the battle, leaving many's the sad hero to cry and to mourn. When the war drums did beat and the cannons loud did rattle, it was by a Frenchman's bullet your Willie he was slain. And as I passed by the place he lay a-bleeding, I scarcely had time for to bid him adieu. In a faltering voice these words he kept repeating, "Fare thee well, me lovely Annie, you are far from Waterloo." Oh, when this fair maid heard the sad lament, sad declaration, her two rosy cheeks turned pale and woeful wan. And when I saw the maid making sad lamentation, I said, "Me lovely Annie, oh, I am that very one. And here is the ring that between us was broken. In the midst of all danger, it reminded me of you." And when she saw the token, she flew into me arms, crying, "You're welcome, dearest Willie, from the plains of Waterloo." There you go.
Oh, gorgeous, Park. Gramila Magat. Gorgeous. Okay, got to move on to Barbara Dimmock. Barbara, how are you?
Hello.
Super.
Can you hear me?
I can perfectly. We get another
Good.
song off you now.
Yeah. I'm going to sing you a song called "The Lowlands of Holland," of which there are many versions. This is a Scottish version, obviously, and it's another song about a bride who's left behind and her husband doesn't come back, basically. So it's a cheery wee song. The love I had chosen was tae my heart's content. The salt sea shall be frozen. I'm going to start that again. The love I had chosen was tae my heart's content. The salt sea shall be frozen before that I repent. Repent me will I never, until the day I die. For the lowlands o' Holland, he twined my love and me. My love lies in the salt sea, and I am left aside. And after brak a young thing's heart, what lately was a bride. What lately was a bonny bride, wi' pleasure and harry. For the lowlands o' Holland twined my love and me. My love, he built a bonny ship and sent her to the sea. With 70 brave mariners to bear her company. 70 get to the bottom, and my love lost at sea. For the lowlands o' Holland, he twined my love and me. There's ne'er a quaff come to my heed, me came upon my hair. There's neither coal nor connell licht shines in my chamber bare, nor shall I hae another love until the day I die. For the lowlands o' Holland, he twined my love and me. O had your tongue nu, dochter dear, be still and be content. There are mere lads in Galloway, ye needna say lament. There are nae lads in Galloway, there's nane at all for me. Since the lowlands o' Holland, he twined my love and me.
Oh, gorgeous. Oh, it's just such a pleasure to sit here and listen to song after song of gorgeous singing. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to ask Paul and Deirdre Tobin to unmute. How are you doing?
Hi, Mark.
Magalor, Magalor.
Right. I'll try this one. It's reasonably short. It's a song, one of many that I've got from Paddy Berry. And Clahaman's brand new mill. It's about a mill that was allegedly built up around Bunclody in around 1815, although there's no evidence that the thing ever existed. I think it was just an excuse for some fella to use flowery language. But anyway, ye lads of brilliant genius that's endowed with elocution, who by versification have immortalized your name, to revive my drooping intellect I crave a contribution of assistance, while with eloquence I harmonize my theme. Condemn me not for rashness to attempt impossibilities, for I am stimulated by a motive of goodwill, though an inexperienced tyro in the dawn of native literature. I intend to state the praises of Clahaman's brand new mill. This magnificent structure of sublime architecture was founded anno Domini 1815, when by final perseverance it was brought to an accomplishment. Its parallel could not be found in air and the green. To give a perfect picture of its spaciousness and symmetry is far beyond the limits of this feeble poet's skill. In every direction it's a bulwark of perfection. Hibernia's boast and glory is Clahaman's brand new mill. No wonder I should deem it an object of astonishment that men of great distinction should arrive from near and far to view this lofty building, of which it was related that it was prognosticated by a wondrous shiny star. Those grand configurations, the wonders of nature, were brought to calculation by astronomical skill. 'Twas perspicuously expounded and foretold there would be founded near the town of Newtown Barry this admirable mill. The gentry of this country for rural recreation, the sweet meandering banks of the Slaney serenade, where the paintings of nature are brought to true reality, the white trout abounding in each crystal cascade, when on the noble building they feast their curiosity and view each grand invention of artifice and skill, the critical machinery and curious elevation have earned great approbation for Clahaman's brand new mill.
Oh, oops. Okay, are you going to sing something for us, Deirdre?
I'll bring the mood down a little bit.
You won't. You'll bring it up just
no,
in
no,
a
no,
different
no.
style.
It's not a sad one, no.
Off you go.
I wish my love was a red, red rose, blooming in yon garden fair, and I to be the gardener of her. I would take care. There's not a month throughout the year that my love I'd renew. I'd garnish her with flowers fine, sweet William, thyme and rue. I wish I was a butterfly, I'd light on my love's breast. And if I was a blue cuckoo, I'd sing my love to rest. And if I was a nightingale, I'd sing the daylight clear. And I'd sit and sing for you, Molly, for once I loved you, dear. The first time that I met my love was in the market square. Look that passed between us then, my heart it did ensnare. But fate displayed its cruel hand, and we were forced to part. Farewell, my lovely Molly, you're my joy, my own sweetheart. For love is like a sharpened sword, it sears and tears apart. It brings great rhapsodies of joy, but still can break your heart. Oh, painful joy, oh, joyous pain, from dawn till night does fall. 'Tis better to have loved and lost and never loved at all. And Molly, I'm so lonesome now, without you all the while. I miss your lovely wish and cheer. I miss your gentle smile. Before I go to sleep at night, before my eyes I close, I pray that God may guide you right. You're my lovely Irish rose. And I wish I was in Dublin town and seated on the grass. In my right hand a jug of punch, and on my knee a lass. I'd call for liquor freely, and I'd pay before I'd go. And I'd roll my Molly in my arms, let the wind blow high or low.
Ah, that was gorgeous, Deirdre. Beautifully sung. Beautifully sung, and didn't bring the place down at all. Okay,
Thanks,
so
Lyra.
I'm going to ask Niamh Parsons to unmute, and then after Niamh, I'm going to ask Anthony Farrell to sing. So we're just taking the opportunity. There's no barman giving me black looks from across the room, so it's okay to go a little bit late. So Niamh, do you want to yeah, just sorry, yourself, and then Anthony, and then Rosie for her last song, and then Jerry to finish the night. Okay, sorry Niamh, off you go.
Thanks very much for asking, Maura. Can you hear me okay? I'm not too loud.
Perfectly.
Good. I wonder what is keeping my true love tonight. I wonder what is keeping her out of my sight. For little she knows the pain I endure, for she would not stay from me this night, I am sure. Oh love, are you coming my cause to advance? Our love, are you waiting for a far better chance? Or have you a sweetheart laid by me in store? And are you coming far to tell me you love me no more? Oh love, I'm not coming your cause to advance, nor love am I waiting for a far better chance. But I have a sweetheart laid by me in store, and I am coming far to tell you I love you no more. For I can love lightly, and I can love long.
and I can love the old love till a new love comes along. I just said I loved you to set your mind at ease. But when I am from you, I will love whom I please. I have gold in my pocket and love in my heart, but I can't love a maiden who has got two sweethearts. Your love lies just lightly, like the dew upon the thorn that comes down in the evening, goes away in the morn. Green grass it grows bonny, spring water runs clear. I'm weary and lonesome for the love of my dear. You were my first and fond true love, but it's lately I knew that the fonder I loved you, the falser you grew. So come all of you young men, take a warning by me, and never build your nest on the top of a high tree, for the leaves they will wither and the branches decay, and like a false-hearted young maid they will soon fade away. Thank you. Thanks for asking, Maura.
And I haven't heard that song in donkeys. Absolute donkeys. So fantastic. Okay, gonna move on. Anthony Farrell, well, to some.
Wil je banaan mee gluisterd?
Tá muid in an tú chluisteáil agus tú deiscint.
Jeffers. What a dearing. What a dearing.
Agus an Malena.
All right, I'll just sing the flipping thing and be done with it, right? Cormac McConnell is the man that composed this song. Well, she fed the white rabbit, but just out of habit, she fondled the two white doves. She laid out his wand, top hat, tails, decks of cards, and the white gloves. She had a lump in her throat as she wrote the brief note, but her face was quite matter of fact, as she crossed o'er the floor and straight out the door in her great disappearing act. Hocus pocus, focus folks on that lovely assistant Jenny, that Mr. Zendo sawed in half, just one time too many. While his assistant, his wife, it hurt her like a knife as she watched him betray her last night with a snake charming lady known just as Louise. She watched as they turned out the light. Now she's out to hurt him, humiliate and desert him, and leave with her senses intact. And that's how she's scanned it and carefully planned it, her great disappearing act. Hocus pocus, focus folks on that lovely assistant Jenny, that Mr. Zando sawed in half, just one time too many. Well, tonight is the night of his biggest air show, agents present a chance to break through, and she's indispensable, quite irreplaceable, he's taught her all that he knew. In an hour or more as he walks through the door, she wonders just how he'll react to her note that reads, Zendo, hey presto, I'm gone, it's my great disappearing act. Hocus pocus, focus folks on that lovely assistant Jenny, that Mr. Zendo sawed in half, just one time too many. Hocus pocus, focus folks on that lovely assistant Jenny, that Mr. Zendo sawed in half, just one flippin' time too many.
Nar lagad díú Anthony. Agus fecim gofuil arú bug déant ar na focail an sonna gut leis an Facebook version. All right, we're going to move on to Rosie, who is one of our guests for the weekend. Agus Annette, hi Annette, Harish.
Hello, I'm trying to write Antonia a message that says bleep, 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 but
very good.
Oh, it's been a lovely night, Mara, hasn't it?
Hasn't it though? Hasn't it? It's such a privilege to just sit here and be serenaded by singer after singer after singer. It's just gorgeous.
That's nice. And I'm just wondering, I was wondering what to sing. I think I'll sing this one. It's a tribute to all the women in Kent who got off. Well, you know what's happening in England at the moment. There's nobody to drive the lorries, and there's no one to pick the vegetables, and there's not enough
Brexit
carbon dioxide. But these, this song was written for a load of women who had done those jobs in Kent. And they told me all about what it was like to pick the peas and the cabbages and everything else. So, with apples and with cherry. Oh, just another thing. The last bit is actually what some of us would often, occasionally anyway, like to write on the chat, but we don't. With apples and with cherries, with pears and strawberries sweet, potatoes and cabbages and peas, small and petite, with garlands of hops hanging on the vine. In the garden of England we're all doing fine, 'cause Smedley's canned the peas, Dean's made all the jam, Shepherd need brew the beer, we'll drink it when we can. Now you're not supposed to pick and eat, give your belly ache, and the picking isn't easy, don't give the trees a shake. It's up and down the ladders, it'll really take some pluck. Stick some in your pocket and eat a few for luck, 'cause Smedley's canned the peas, Dean's made all the jam, Shepherd need brew the beer, he'll drink it if we can. Now when you're picking hops, all the family can join in, and your kids with upturned brollies will help to fill the bin. Your hands will get stained yellow and your back will be all bent, but you'll not be sorry you came hopping down in Kent, 'cause Smedley's canned the peas, Dean's made all the jam, Shepherd need brew the beer, we'll drink it if we have to. Now, when the season's over and all the picking's done, the boss will give a party and then we'll have some fun. We'll be home dwellers and gypsies and folks from London town, swilling back the beer and singing, knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown, knees up, Mother Brown. Under the table we will go, E-I-E-I-E-I-O. If you catch me bending, I'll sew your legs right up. Knees up, don't get the breeze up, knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, what a rotten song, what a rotten song, what a rotten song. Oh, what a rotten song, and what a rotten singer too. Woo.
That's
Thanks,
brilliant.
Moira.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Rosie.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, bright and early. Now, just in the tradition of the club, the person who started the night is going to finish the night, and that is Jerry O'Reilly. So, Jerry, can you unmute again, please?
Thank you.
There we go.
I'm unmuted. As the fella said, folly that.
Yeah.
Right. Pat didn't sing the song that he wrote, so maybe I'll sing it and some of the words in it. This is Pat wrote this soon after Frank died. I'll preface it with Brendan Kennelly's poem "Living Ghosts," which Frank loved to quote as well. And I just heard lately that I think Brendan Kennelly is in a nursing home in North Kerry at the moment, like, you know, so that's not great. But he's a lovely, lovely man. Richard Broderick celebrates this winter's first and only fall of snow with a midnight rendering of the bonny bunch of roses, oh. And Paddy Deneen is rising with on top of the old stone wall. His closed eyes respect the song, his mind's a festival. And now Ramona lights the lips of swaying Davy Shea. In a world of possibilities, this is the only way. His face a summer morning when the sun decides to shine. Tom Keane touches enchantment with charming Carrigail. I've seen men in their innocence, untroubled by right and wrong. I close my eyes and see them becoming song. All the songs are living ghosts and long for a living voice. Oh, may another fall of snow bid Broderick rejoice. Near to Isolde's chapel where the river Liffey flows, a blackbird perched upon a tree calls out to friends and foes. To the east and west I've flown, north and south also. I seek a gallant man of song, pray tell me where to go. I was but a youth myself when first your voice I heard. The old songs captivated me, my soul at once ensnared. You made us laugh, you made us sigh, your keys opened the door unto the vaults of history and the treasures of folklore. To hear how Larry's neck was stretched upon the gallows tree, of the ragman and the ball they held in Dublin's liberties, how Johnny Doyle on the high seas forgot his lover's fate, while the Spanish lady broke the heart of a young man rambling late. To hear the songs of '98 from the ashes once more rise, like a phoenix resurrected, whose spirit never dies. With Napoleon Bonaparte you wove a tapestry, through Paris, Moscow, Waterloo, to St. Helena's quay. In truth you were a patriot, you loved the Shamrock shore. That her rights be resorted, her rights be restored. Wars and famine we endured, indignities and wrongs. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. The blackbird once again called out a sad and plaintive tale, As mourners we assembled in the chapel yard close by. We'll never see your likes again, or hear you called upon. And we'll meet you at these gatherings, where we poor singers throng. As dusk it fell on that Friday eve, the news had far spread. Across continents the tributes came for our darling man now dead. Oh where have you gone to? Chapel is his favourite son. The boatman waits to ferry you to the eternal land of song. Frank Harte.
Fabulous, Jerry, and a great start and a great finish to the evening. Well done. Okay, I'm going to move us to gallery. Just before I stop recording, etc., just a quick reminder of what's in store for people who decide to either attend in person or to log on to the live stream. So we have a singing workshop with Blaheen Vicana tomorrow morning at 11, and you didn't meet Blaheen because her internet let her down and she couldn't get on the internet to join us tonight. Then at let me see, at 1:30 we have an hour of conversation and songs from someone who was there. The title is Singing the Ballads by someone who was there, and Fergus Russell from the committee is going to interview this person, and we're going to get a few songs from them. So then at 3 to 5 there's another one of these, but it's a room and Zoom, so we'll be in the Teachers Club, and we'll have people on the Zoom as well. And then we have the grand concert tomorrow night, and followed on Sunday by the Singing and Walking Tour, which is premiering at 11 AM, and the final singing session, which is in person only in the Teachers Club, but it's live streamed. So anyone who has registration is closed, but anyone who has tickets and stuff knows what they're doing. And those of you who haven't, go on to the Frank Harte Festival page on Facebook, and you'll be able to see and hear all of the doings over the weekend, and it's going to be a fabulous weekend. I don't know if I'm going to have any voice left on Sunday, but it's going to be a great weekend. And then just to say, your guests for the weekend are the inimitable Rosie Davis, the inimitable Barbara Dimmock. We have Siobhan Hart, who also wasn't really in a fit state to sing for us this evening, unfortunately, but she'll be back with us next year, hopefully. Blaheen Vicana will be with us in the morning for the song workshop and for the day. And we have Con Fada Udrishgioil and Donny Nolan, two fine men who have two fine voices and two fine box players as well. And we're going to have an absolutely fabulous day. So thanks to all who sang, thanks to all who listened, which is very important. And we'll see you back here next time. Thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to stop the live stream now.